long ago, before the world became as busy and noisy as it is today, before cities rose and machines hummed and people forgot how to listen to stories, the world was full of silence, wonder, and the sound of wisdom being carried on the wind. In those times, the animals could speak just as we do today, and among them was one creature whose name is remembered across villages, forests, and generations. His name was Anansi, the spider. Now, Anansi was known far and wide for being clever, some would say too clever. He had a mind sharper than a razor and a heart that sometimes danced between mischief and wisdom. If there was a trick to be played, Anansi knew it. If there was knowledge to be gained, Anansi wanted it. And if there was glory to be taken, Anansi always tried to claim it first. One day, the sky god, Niam, gathered all the wisdom in the world. Every drop of knowledge about life, people, patience, kindness, learning, and understanding, Niam placed all of it into one single clay pot. This pot glowed faintly, as though the sun had touched it. And Niam, knowing how precious wisdom was, hung this pot high in the branches of a tall silk cotton tree so that no one could take it without effort. The pot remained there, untouched, and the world continued, with each person knowing only a little and learning slowly as life taught them. But Anansi heard of this pot. And the moment the whisper reached his 8 ears, his heart fluttered like a hummingbird. Imagine! All the wisdom in one place. If he could have it, he would be greater than kings, stronger than chiefs, admired by elders, respected by children. The world would bow before him, for no one could outthink him. And so he decided. He would steal it. Anansi waited until the sky was dim and the moon was halfway awake. He crawled into the tall silk cotton tree, one leg after another, slow and careful, until he reached the branch where the pot hung. But the pot was heavier than he expected, and bringing it down was harder than he imagined. Still, with stubborn determination, Anansi wrestled it down, inch by inch, until at last it rested on the ground before him. The moment his legs touched it, a warmth, like the touch of the sun, flowed through him. Wisdom whispered, whispered, whispered. Insights about life, about people, about choices, all began to hum softly in his mind. And Anansi almost trembled with joy. He carried the pot home in the dark of night, and as the first cock crowed, the pot was safely hidden. Now Anansi had a problem. He feared someone might try to take the pot from him. So he said to himself, I must hide this pot where no one can find it. Somewhere only I can reach. He looked around his yard and saw the tall iroko tree standing like a giant watching the earth. Yes, he thought. That is the place. But how would he climb the tree while carrying the pot? He tried to hold it under his arm. The pot nearly slipped. He tried to balance it on his back. The pot wobbled. He tied it to his belly. The pot swung and dragged him down. Anansi struggled and struggled until sweat rolled down his legs. Now, Anansi had a son, Ntakuma. A quiet, observant child. Not boastful, not loud. Ntakuma saw his father struggling and said softly, Father, why not tie the pot to your back instead of your front? Then you will climb more easily. Anansi froze. The air stopped. Wisdom he thought he owned, had just come from a child who did not have the pot. And Anansi felt something inside him begin to burn. He turned sharply, his pride swelling larger than the sky. How could his son, who did not possess the pot of wisdom, offer a suggestion to him, the great Anansi? He felt insulted, embarrassed, small even, and when pride enters the heart, wisdom quietly slips out the window. In anger, Anansi shouted, What do you know, boy? I am the one with the pot of wisdom. You are just a child. But the words, oh the words, tasted sour even as he spoke them. Still, Anansi, stubborn as ever, tried to climb again with the pot tied behind him. Suddenly, everything felt easier. His hands were free. His center was steady. His feet found each space. Step by step, Anansi climbed the iroko tree, feeling a strange mix of triumph and unease. But as he neared the top, the embarrassment of his son's advice grew heavier than the pot. The thought screamed inside him, if my son could think of this, then maybe maybe I do not have all wisdom after all. And that was the moment, yes, that very moment, the pot slipped. It tumbled. Down the tall tree. Down and down and down. Crashing upon the earth. Shattering into pieces so small they glittered like grains of golden sand. And the wisdom, the wisdom, did not stay in one place. It scattered. It flew into the wind. It swirled into rivers. It sank into soil. It drifted into the hearts of people. And suddenly, wisdom was everywhere. In the old. In the young. In men. In women. In elders. In children. In quiet thinkers. In loud dreamers. In storytellers. In listeners. Wisdom became something no one person could claim alone. When Anansi climbed down and saw the broken pot, he wept, not because the wisdom was gone, but because he realized the truth. No one is meant to own wisdom alone. Wisdom grows only when shared. Understanding becomes deeper when exchanged. Insight becomes brighter when discussed. The child learns from the elder, yes. But sometimes the elder learns from the child. That is how the world grows. Anansi gathered his son close, not with pride, but with humility. And quietly he said, "You were right." It was not easy for him to say. But when he did, the world felt lighter. From that day forward, wisdom flowed among people. Some kept only a little, some carried much. But no one carried everything, because if one person had all wisdom, they could silence others. And wisdom, true wisdom, lives in conversation, in listening, in community, in connection. Even today, if you listen carefully, very carefully, you can hear wisdom in the laughter of children, in the tired sigh of elders, in the stories passed down at night around the fire, and in the quiet moments when you reflect on life. Wisdom is not owned. It is shared. And that is why we grow. So remember this. When you learn something meaningful, do not hide it like treasure. Share it. Teach someone. Speak it with love. Because when we share wisdom, we build a world where no one walks in darkness alone. And that, my friend, is the story of Anansi and the pot of wisdom, why wisdom must be shared.